Thank you. The defendants never showed up to court. Instead, they did 25 attempted murders on the plaintiff to avoid court. They did three actual murders that of lookalikes of the plaintiff right near the plaintiff in hopes of avoiding court. And then they just took the relief sought that we were going to court for, and they created this plan to call a USA citizen in Japanese so they can kill the American for the relief sought. And so when you look at the other videos, you get an opportunity to see that all of these defendants did a home invasion. And there's two more that's supposed to be on here, the Federal Communication Commission and the Federal Trade Commission. They're also the defendants on the list, but it wasn't enough on the police report. And so they tried to get away with it by calling the people and the generation of that family who were homeowners Japanese instead of United States citizens. That was their whole plan. But what they did was they went to Japan and they established dummy corporations in Japan and worked from Japan to the United States of America to establish communication with the family members. And it was a communication between family members that was forced to go to Japan in order to live, and family members who were the homeowners inside of the USA. And so just over a correspondence, just over pictures of family, children who had been born over a certain amount of time, the family in the United States of America was killed by these three presidents: Obama, Trump, Biden, and Harris. And that's exactly what the FBI saw. And so what they did was they concocted a plan to kill the littlest one in the house by trying to get the littlest one to be forced to go to Japan to work for a company called Sony or Toyota that the America built in Japan for hopes of killing the plaintiff Aaren Williams Striplin here. And then they started this whole little scam of monikers in the 90s with African American rappers taking on the nicknames of Chinese, of video games, and of gangsters, mobsters from Italy, from Europe, and from South America and North America, Latin areas, and gangsters in local neighborhoods in the USA. And so they started this whole process of the victim being in these piracy movies like Michael Jackson, where they could rape and molest the victim, Aaren Striplin, and hold him as a sex slave, and then to try to kill him in a hospital like MJ was killed, and to maintain those accounts across federal regulated state lines with hopes of the victim claiming to be the head of Japan in order to prepare to live in Japan and get killed in the United States of America for it. And so they didn't want the victim to have a witness in Japan and to sit as the head of Japan, Shinzo Abe, and stack money up for 6 months and then get a passport and fly to Japan and live a life as Shinzo Abe out there. They wanted to just get that so they can kill the Aaren Williams Striplin here in the USA for the relief sought. That's what they wanted to do. So we do have a right to get all of the prime minister in Japan to confirm that those are United States of America businesses that's established in Japan and not Japanese businesses, and then also that the Americans that went to Japan in order to kill the family members in the United States of America are on the timeline from the United States of America going out there, which is consistent with these presidents doing their home invasion. Thank you. So we're going to be looking into these matters without bias. And for the record, plaintiff Aaren Williams Striplin is a USA citizen. They're trying to kill him in the Blair House shelter. They're impersonating TV shows like NCIS, Alias, Criminal Minds Behavior. Criminal Minds Suspect Behavior, Criminal Minds Behavior Analysis Unit, NCIS, CSI Las Vegas, CSI New York, and CSI Miami. They're doing a bunch of illegal stuff, trying to establish witnesses as the victim, working on the relief sought for the opportunity to establish the witnesses in Japan. And they're impersonating law enforcement. They're impersonating the FBI. They're impersonating police. They're impersonating sheriff. They're working with the Contra Costa County Martinez Sheriff, Mike Livingston. It's a business license that he established to kill Helen Gray Striplin for her house. The cccsheriff.org across federal regulated state lines from Martinez, California to Washington, D.C. to change the dates back. And they're actually establishing the relief sought in their name. Their plan is to kill Aaren Striplin for his own identity and then become Aaren Striplin. As far as the church owner is concerned. And so they're stealing the bank while we're in court. They're stealing the church, the tabernacle, 7 churches of Asia, heaven in the bank while we're in court. They're actually trying to have Malia Obama have a slave in obstruction of justice so we don't go to court. It's just a bunch of little different things so that we don't get our witnesses, and we're going to continue to fight this. Now they're covering up the murder with Helen Gray Striplin at the Department of Justice. Other Department of Justice are also defendants here too, and the Federal Bureau of Investigations are defendants here too. There's a bunch of stuff on here about Jack Smith, being one of the special counsels, and a classified documents case for Donald Trump. That's his set, so I'm not going to go on and ruin it. But on my set, we're going to talk about the truth. Donald Trump should be on trial for murder. He shouldn't be on trial for classified documents. Helen Gray Striplin shouldn't be considered a classified person. Where Donald Trump killed Helen Gray Striplin shouldn't be classified. Donald Trump going to Japan to kill Helen Gray Striplin for her house in Las Vegas, Nevada shouldn't be classified. And it should be public information that Al Smith is the person that squatted Helen Gray Striplin out so that he can kill her for the house inheritance and give it to Donald Trump. So we got the Department of Justice and the FBI here as defendants too. And I want everybody to look into this at the impeachment committee in the House Judiciary from Congress. I want senators and representatives to look at this and get an all points bulletin. Look into the fact that Donald Trump hired Joe Biden and Kamala D. Harris to kill Chantel Renee Pervo, Lonnie Stokes, Jean Pierre, to kill Ashley Lonnie, Crystal Lonnie, Ladarius Lonnie, Darren Striplin, at 1324 Mariposa Street, Rodale, California, 94572, and Armani Jones, and committed treason on Johnny Striplin in order to get away with it, holding those people hostage. And it's just something that needs to be addressed. You can quickly go to these addresses and confirm that this is going on while we're developing the case also. This is the police report.